Hello and welcome to Chords and Curves. On today's episode, we welcome Marc Schmieder. We talk about the challenges in writing music in chillhop and progressive rock genres, and what it takes to make a good cover, as he's made several Nujabes covers. Listen in and check out his music in the links below. Thanks for joining me today to talk about music and of course you. I stumbled across your Instagram page, I think on obviously it was on Instagram, but I think it was through like maybe a paid ad or maybe someone had posted something in their story.
Could be a paid ad, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy because like I saw your stuff on a paid ad and then I checked your profile and I was like, oh, chill hop and progressive rock and some cool covers. And so I was like, oh, this is really interesting. And then I made a mental note, let me come back and check you out and message you, maybe see if you want to be on the podcast. And then I think like the next 2-3 days after that, I kept seeing someone pop up in my story and I'm like, oh, they're playing drums. Okay, now they're going over and playing guitar. And like, I follow a lot of pages where people do that. But then each time where I was like, all right, this is a really cool cover, or this is really unique, I was like, oh, this is Marc. It's the same guy that I'm like, oh, I need to reach out to this guy and see if he wants to be on the podcast. So
Cool. Oh, your video froze again.
Oh, it's okay. That'll happen from time to time. It's so hot sometimes here in Las Vegas that it just does that, so it's fine.
Oh, okay. I see.
But
yeah, I'm really glad you reached out to me. To be honest, I was kind of a little bit astonished, but really glad to be here and to talk to you.
yeah, and I think you're doing something that's it's really interesting, and it's something that I've thought, like how can that work together? Because like chill hop and progressive rock, they're not necessarily like two genres that people would put together. And like I did a lot of punk rock music before I started doing lo-fi music, and
okay.
I've never really thought about combining those two because they're so different. So how did you come up with the idea of switching between those two genres or trying to blend those two genres together?
That's a good question, and probably have to tell a little bit of a story here. So originally I come from rock, and in my 20s I did a lot of progressive metal. I founded a progressive metal band, and I think 8 years later we released an album. So these are definitely my origins, like heavy guitars and especially guitar and keyboard prog bands like Haken or Dream Theater, Opeth, stuff like that. But when I started my solo project, and that was in 2020, I started to do just whatever I wanted. And it started like with more chill music, with a little bit of film music inspiration here and there, but also with the rock influence. And I kind of went all over the place. I also did a pop rock song and a synthwave song too. And over the time, I realized, okay, with the algorithms on the platforms nowadays, it's really hard to like be really all over the place. So I tried to limit it on my main project, and I wanted to do chill hop, but I also had like a few tracks that are more on the rock side and more on the progressive side. And I thought, okay, I can still keep it under the same umbrella. And for the synthwave stuff that I also really like, I founded a new project. But you know how it is. We have so many ideas, and but it wouldn't make sense to have like 3 or 4 different artists because I can't release regularly on all those artists. So I just decided, okay, the main project will be everything between chill hop and progressive rock, even if that seems like a broad style of genres.
Yeah, I mean, for some people I think there might be a little bit of a blend between those that people might see, or that, I think there's a really cool opportunity to have two different genres in like your artist, because I bet there's an opportunity to where you might be able to say, oh, I did this progressive rock song, and then 6-8 months later say, oh, let me just do a lo-fi cover or a chill hop cover of the rock song that I wrote before, and it can get like a new life, a new perspective, and like make the algorithm kind of happy for people trying to discover your music for chill hop and for rock music. So
Oh yeah.
what's that kind of been like trying to be like, when you're writing, do you start writing a song and be like, oh, this is definitely going to be a chill hop song, or do you sometimes kind of go in and just write a song and be like, oh, well, which way do I want to take it after you've kind of like started writing it for
Yeah,
a couple hours or so?
that's interesting that you asked that because the last songs that I published, these were all projects from 2020, 2019. So just like a bunch of beat ideas laying around, just maybe 16 bars or so. And to be honest, it was like you said, I couldn't really predict what would happen. And so one song became like a more chill chirp song. Um, and then another one that almost finished. It had also a chill vibe at the beginning, but it's now getting to a modern metal sound at the end with like 8 strings. So I can't really predict. Except for my album Osaka Night, I really wanted to do like a chill hop album, and it was really clear to me that all the tracks there go in this chill hop direction. Of course, with some rock influences and a lot of guitar solos. Yeah, but you with like new tracks, I never can really tell in which direction it goes.
Yeah, I mean that's it's kind of tough sometimes because like the music just starts with the basic chords and sometimes like for me even when I'm writing it's like, well, let's play these chords, let's speed it up, let's slow it down. What eventually does the vibe kind of land on for what I have already determined the chords are that I want to use or whatever. Sometimes it's even just the beat. If it's like, oh, this
Mm,
sounds good, slow down, but does it sound better if I speed it up a little bit? So there's so many different elements that can affect what direction a song goes, like the chords, the tempo,
yeah.
what instruments that you're using. Is there a specific uh, element of the creative process that you found that you're drawn to when you're trying to determine if it needs to go one way or the other? Like the tempo, the instruments.
It's probably the drums or the way I engineer the drums. So often when because sometimes I use samples, sometimes I program organic drums. So I use a sample library, but with like a drum, I program it in a way that it could be played on a real drum set. And often when I do this direction with the real drum set, it often gets like more rockier or in the metal or progressive rock direction. This could definitely be the case. If it's just like sample based, it usually stays in kind of the beat realm, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Just because like when you're playing the drums yourself, it kind of has that live vibe. And when you're programming it, like lo-fi beats are sometimes kind of like a little bit offbeat or it's a little unusual to your ear. So like
Mm.
it takes a lot of work to be able to say, oh, I can just play that naturally.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, oh
yeah,
yeah, definitely.
because your ear wants to move it forward a little bit to where it's on beat and not kind of like off to the side a little bit. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, that totally makes sense. But you also do a lot of like covers too. How did you decide that you wanted to do some of these covers that are kind of like lo-fi chill hop as well as on top of your own music?
Yeah. So, okay, there are two sides to this. So one side was, I think at the beginning or in the middle of last year, I tried a lot of stuff on social media, and I started to post covers of like, yeah, also multiple genres of music. I tried to generate looping versions of like meme content that is around there. Like for example, the David Bowie Starman meme, who did like a looping cover. But I found that this is like not really that what I want to do long term, just to be all over the place with covers, because when you post a lot of covers, then people want to see those covers in the future too, and they're maybe not so interested in your music. But what I really loved, and I will keep doing this, is Nujabes covers, because Nujabes is, you're of course familiar with him, I assume. He's the one that brought me to this style of music, as probably for many other chill hop artists. And man, his songs are so amazing. There are so many amazing songs, and it kind of made a lot of fun for me to try to do looping versions of his music. And I'm constantly working on that. I'm even working on full cover versions of his songs. But yeah, I needed some time to really be sure that the quality is right because yeah, he's a legend, and I don't want to put anything out there that is kind of yeah, only halfway there.
Yeah, and I feel like covers are really tough to do. Uh, like doing the song, people might be like, "Oh, it's a cover. It's already written. Like you know what you need to play." But when you want to give a cover like a new perspective or a new life, it's well, you can't just rely on the part of the song that everyone already knows to kind of cover your butt in the song. Like that's the part everyone knows. That's how it's going to get recognized. But it's up to you as like the artist that's reinterpreting the work to kind of
Mm,
fill in a lot of the spaces of well, what's going to make this cover your song in that way. And I
yeah.
think too often times when we think of cover songs, we're just like, yeah, we just got to play the melody, sing the lyrics or whatever it is, the hook, and people will recognize it, but it doesn't make it a good cover. So, what's been that process of trying to make sure that the covers that you're releasing have those blanks filled in to where it's recognizable as the original artist's song, but people still can kind of be like, oh, I feel like that's you at the same time.
Mm. I did one cover of as part of my Osaka Nights album from the song Belly Breathing, originally by Bureaucratic. And there I didn't really have like the chords or tabs of the main chord progression. I tried to learn it by ear, and I noticed that it's a little bit different. So it's not the original chord progression, but it still sounds nice. So I went with that, and then I took the main melody and also varied it a little bit, added a guitar solo at the end, and I mean, it's a flow. I think it's not like at the beginning. I'm sure like I want to do it this or this way. It just yeah, when you create, it just has a natural flow. And what I'm always doing is, and I'm doing this with the new Jarvis covers as well. When I have the melody, I alter it a little bit, but I also try to play it on another instrument to switch it up. So, for example, with the Lovesick Part 6 that I did, um, there's this main melody on the piano, which I really love. So I played it on the guitar and always try to switch it up a little bit. And sometimes I write an additional theme or additional bridge. And yeah, it depends every time, I guess. But when when you are rewriting everything and re-recording, I think that your style gets implemented. It's kind of automatic.
Yeah, I can definitely see that from like my experience of doing covers, like just the way that, you play an instrument or you approach it, you're like, this is it's the way that you're playing the song. So it's not gonna sound exactly the same, but
Mm,
you want to make sure that you push enough of yourself into the song that's like a good balance between what people are expecting because they already know the song and also what they might be expecting from you as an individual artist. Are there any like lo-fi chill hop artists that you haven't covered yet, or even rock artists that you're like, oh, I haven't done a cover of those guys yet that you'd want to do a cover on, but just maybe haven't had time to do so, or is a goal for you to do in the future?
um, I think I kind of pressed the gas the brakes a little bit on the covers. So it's not like I have like a huge bucket list. But for Nujabes, I'm pretty sure that I want to cover all my favorite songs as a looping version. And I mean, for me, it's a lot of fun. I think I learn a lot because his music is also really complex from a harmonic standpoint. And also people are enjoying it a lot. So I get lot of love from Nujabes fans and fellows, and that's just really really fun because this community is yeah, just a really nice community. Um, yeah, aside from that, I don't really have Oh no, wrong. There's one song that I want to do a cover, but it's not in the lo-fi realm. It's in the synthwave realm. It's a song by Between the Bird and Me, which is like a really, I don't know if you know them. It's like a mathcore band, but with really crazy switch up in genres. So they have like a really blast beat metal part, and then at the next time there's a jazz part or something like that. And they have like a duo release, and the first song is actually, it's practically synthwave, and then it goes into this crazy progressive metal song. And I want to do a synthwave cover of this theme on my other project, but I haven't started yet.
Yeah,
it's good that you reminded me.
Oh, well, you're welcome. I mean, that sounds like a pretty complex song to do, so I don't blame you if you're like, oh, I need more time to do that, because it sounds like it's very complicated, especially if it's like math rock with probably lots of like key signature changes or things like that. But for the covers that you have released, I know you've released a couple on social media. Where can people find those online? Where can they follow you and kind of keep up to date with everything that you're releasing when it comes to those covers, and for your own original music as well?
So the best place is probably Instagram. So it's Marc Schmieder Music. There you can DM me, and I try to engage with a lot of people and DM just like we did. So definitely shoot me a message. And as for the covers, YouTube is a good place, because I will post long form performance videos of those covers, and the handle is the same, Marc Schmieder Music. These two are probably the best two platforms to hit me up.
Nice. We're going to have links in the description below, so people can just easily click this when they're watching on YouTube and go directly to Instagram to check out your social media, DM you. But if they also want to see those long form videos too, we'll have a link to your YouTube page as well. Marc, thanks so much for coming on. It's been really fun learning about your process and how you approach music, and I can't wait to see what you come out with next.
Thank you so much for having me on. It was lovely to talk to you. And we stay in touch.
Yeah, thanks, Marc. Thank you for listening to Chords and Curves, a YouTube exclusive podcast. Check out Marc's music below, as well as mine. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like and subscribe for more podcast interviews, gear reviews, and creative approaches to music. Thanks for listening.